Okay, today we're going to install DK Custom's external breather kit. These are the parts that are in the kit. You've got the hose there that we'll be cutting to fit, and then below is the filter. This is the filter. It's got some clamps there to put around it. This piece here looks like it goes on the filter, and then this is like a 3/8 inch hose down to a 1/4 inch hose. I'm going to guess that's what that is. And I think that goes like that, and then this piece goes like that. And then this end then will go on the hose right there. And then of course then we get some wire ties to hold everything together. So that's it, let's put it together. We've got to take off the air cleaner. So to do that, we're going to first remove this extra piece here with it's actually a 2mm Allen wrench. Take off these little screws first. Alright, and that'll get us to the main bolt. We'll take the cover off. Alright, we get this bolt out. You know, I thought it would be mostly American hex bolts, but I put a 5/16 in here, and it just seems a little bit loose to me. So I got an 8mm, and that's nice and tight. So I'm going with the 8mm. Alright, let's get this bolt off. And that all comes apart. Alright, so I started to do a mock-up here of how I'm going to run the hoses and where I'm going to run it out. And I think what I'm going to plan on doing is pull it out of here a little bit. But I think I'll run it down below, and then we'll end up having it come down this area. So I'm going to have to drill a hole in my air cleaner box here, probably right around here, and we'll mark that with a mark there and have it come right out there. And then I've got these tubes then that'll come together here, and they supply like a T connector, which I'll show you in a minute, and then we'll route it that way. So we'll take everything apart here, drill a hole, and then put it back together. Alright, so I got a T27 Torx bit here. We'll get these screws out of here. Can't use that with that one. Alright, let's get this last bolt out. And then we're going to unplug the breather hole there to expose our breather bolts, which are back in here. Alright, so we'll get to the breather bolts, pulling these guys out. There they are there. And now we've got to get this cover off, because we've got to drill a hole down here to run the new tubes through. So we'll get a socket to get those bolts out of there. Alright, so it looks like it's a 7/16 inch bolt. Get these breather bolts out of here. Alright, and there's two, and we got our cover off. Alright, so I got about where I want to go, and I measured, and it takes about a 3/8 inch hole. So first I'm going to drill a pilot hole here. And then change bits over, and we'll go with a 3/8 inch hole, and that's about the size of the tube, and that's a tight 3/8, so didn't want air or whatever coming through, but That's all there is to drilling a hole in the bottom of the air box. So we'll start putting it back together and route our hoses. Okay, first thing we'll do is we'll put the cover back on and put the breather bolts in. Now the spec on the breather bolts is 20 to 22 foot-pounds to torque them, so we'll get them tight here and torque them down. Alright, get a torque wrench on them. Okay. Alrighty. Next thing we'll do is we'll get the air filter back on here. Now, they say that you're supposed to plug the hole from where you took out the other hose. So what I did was I took the old hose and I put this on, and then this this little plug here is from an irrigation drain. It's just it's just a plug. So hopefully that'll go. That's how I did that. Let me check the torque specs on that. We'll torque those down. Alright, next thing we're going to do is get these hoses cut. And they're going to be attached to the breather bolts, which are right here. So I'll just figure out how much tubing I want to have, because I'm going to put this over the breather bolt. And then we're going to route it down around here. And then we'll have a T connector. We'll use this T connector here to put the two hoses together and then come out of the bottom. So I'll just get a rough measurement here. Cut the hose. And then we're going to go to the other breather hole, which I don't think you guys can see. It looked just like the other one. Slip that over that one. Bring it down here. Connection there. Cut that hose. Okay, so we're going to bring it through the hole here. And I'm just going to bring it on out. And then we're going to take this end of the T and put it here. We'll take this side, put it here, and we'll take this side, put it on this end. And I don't think we really need any clamps or anything. Now that we're kind of inside here, it'll hold. This is the connection right there, and it's coming out of the bottom of the air box. Alright, now let's get the air cover box back on. Make sure your gasket's always seated correctly. Put that in there. Next piece that has to go on is this black piece. And then the bolt. And the bolt's got a little bit of blue Loctite on it. Okay, so this one says it needs a 30 to 60 inch-pounds to torque it down. So we'll tighten this guy up. Alright. And then finally the last piece we have to put on is our little trim cover here. It's going to go just like this. And we'll give them a little snug tight, and that's it. Now we'll do put the air breather part on. Alright, next thing we're going to get ready to do is get this piece set. So slide that on there, and then slide a hose clamp on it. Tighten it down. Alrighty. Next we're going to put this piece in, slip it in the hose here. Put this little larger one up here. Everything's all nice and tight, so let's go. Now we'll go and feed the hose through and clamp it onto here, and we'll be all done. Alright, what we're going to do is I've got the hose routed down here. So I'm going to cut the hose right there, and then I'll shove this piece up in here, and then I'm going to wire tie it right here, so it'll be up underneath the frame here. So that's the plan. I'll make the cut and we'll finish it up. Alright, I've cut the hose and I've worked it on. And I'm going to tighten this other clamp down. Alright, now that one's tight. And I've got a wire tie here. We're just going to take the wire tie and put it up in there and tighten it up. Yep, that's it. We'll snip off the piece of the wire tie here, and we're ready to ride.